That's it. That's it. It's the last straw. You can't do it anymore. We all cannot do it anymore. Washington, it's done. And we all know it. No more excuses. It's done. He has to go. And this sucks for me to say it, because if you watch my videos, you would know that I always give these young guys time to develop, no matter what the situation is. A lot of fans love to put the pressure on these young guys. They want them to come in straight from college and immediately be effective and be great. If they're not, we call them a bust or trash. That's not how it's supposed to work. This is a very difficult game. And a young quarterback coming in, he's not going to be where he needs to be. It takes time for a young quarterback to develop. Look at Josh Allen. Rookie season, he couldn't even complete 60% of his passes. Now, he's playing like an MVP. He looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Look at Lamar Jackson. Rookie year, he could barely complete 60% of his passes. Now in the last 2 years, he's been around 66% completion. Not to mention, last season, he won unanimous MVP. And this season, although it's kind of a down year for him because he's not putting up those historic numbers, he's still playing right now at an MVP level, or at least at a great quarterback level, and he's helping lead his team to the playoffs. They still got to finish it off in week 17 to clinch their playoff spot, but at least he's helping them. His record this season is 10-4 as a starter. He's doing what he needs to do to get the job done, and he's been great the last couple of weeks. He's been on fire the last couple of weeks. And although this ain't a good example to have right now because of the game that happened today, but even Baker Mayfield, I mean, you look at him specifically. It's night and day between last season and this season. Last season, everybody was calling Baker Mayfield a bust. This season, he's looked like a really good quarterback. He's cut down the turnovers. He's been more focused, been more of a leader, and he's worked in this system. It's worked. Even if you don't believe he's a true franchise quarterback, he looks to be a really good starting quarterback. It takes time for these young guys to develop. But one thing we can always say about all these young quarterbacks coming in, one thing that's always been consistent, if they could truly end up making it, is that they at least show you something. They may not be great in their rookie season. They may have some struggles, but they will show you something. They will show you some level of intangible that will make you think right there. That's what can make him a franchise quarterback. That right there. Maybe it's his competitiveness. Maybe it's his leadership. Whatever it is. That right there is going to make him a franchise quarterback. If he can develop his game over time, he can be the leader in the face of our franchise. You have that. All these young guys, they have that. We're seeing it with Burrow. We're seeing it with Tua. We're seeing it with Herbert. These guys have it. Herbert certainly has it. Tua certainly has it. Burrow certainly has it. They have these intangibles that make you look at them and say, hey, as long as they continue to develop their game, they're going to be the face of this franchise. No question they're going to be the leader of this franchise. With Dwayne Haskins, we don't see that. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. You look at his game, he doesn't provide anything. His film doesn't show you anything to be happy about. There's nothing there. He doesn't show you anything. Pocket presence? He doesn't have any pocket presence. Ability to read a defense? Very, very poor. Decision-making? God-awful. Today, he was 14 of 28, 154 passing yards, and 2 interceptions. He had to be benched. And I'll say this. Taylor Heineke, he came in, he looked nice. He looked nice. If I'm Ron Rivera, I'm starting him for week 17. We have a chance to make the playoffs, so I'm starting him week 17. Dwayne Haskins should not see the field anymore. No more. Keep him on the bench because he does not deserve to be on the field. Heineke, you deserve to start week 17, and I hope Rivera starts in week 17 because Dwayne Haskins isn't showing you anything. There's nothing you can look at that says he's got what it takes to be a franchise quarterback. Right now, he really does look like a bust. He really looks like a bust. There's nothing there. Even the intangibles, there's nothing there. He shows no competitiveness. Like I'm not seeing the competitiveness in him. Where's the leadership? Where is it? You got this dude partying at a strip club with no mask on after a loss from what was it, last week against Seattle? Lose that game. He doesn't perform well in that game, and he's out in the strip club. Listen, he's a young man. He's got money. He wants to do what he wants to do with it. Ain't nobody got a problem going to no strip club. We understand, man. I mean, we all got it. I'm just saying, we understand. As a man myself, I understand. I understand. You got money. The club's here. You want to party? You want to be there? I understand. I got you. I got you with that. But this is not the time for it. Your team is fighting for the playoffs. They need their young quarterback to show some leadership skills. Wait, y'all lost that game. You didn't perform up to standard. Why aren't you focused on improving and helping this team win next week? And why are you partying in a strip club without any mask on? Oh my God. So you didn't do anything last week. You were terrible last week in that loss. Didn't show us anything to be happy for. Then you party at a strip club with no mask. And then this week you proceed to come back and play even worse than you did last week. Like, you can't win with this guy. You can't. Maybe it's because it's Washington. Who knows? Maybe if he goes to another team, somebody can figure him out and he'll end up improving. Maybe he fixes his game. Maybe he shows those intangibles we've been waiting to see. I don't know. Maybe it's Washington because, Washington could just be cursed. Who knows? But I'm just saying, his time in Washington needs to be done. The fan base has given up on him. The coaches don't know what to do with him. And honestly, the film just doesn't show us anything to be happy for. There is nothing. He's not showing us anything. There's nothing there. Man, it's just nothing there. There's nothing there. This is so tough. There's nothing there to be happy about. There's nothing there to impress you. There's nothing in the film that shows us he's got what it takes to be the future of this franchise. There's nothing there. The team rallies behind Alex Smith better than they can ever rally behind this young man. Heck, the team looked better with Taylor Heineke out there. They actually looked like they were more engaged into wanting to try and come back than they did when they were playing with this dude Haskins. Ron Rivera, I know Haskins hasn't been your guy, but hey, you tried. You did. This is not the guy you wanted, but you had no choice. You threw him out there, We already know about Allen suffering that season-ending injury. We already know Alex Smith is dealing with an injury himself. You kind of just threw him in there and hope Dwayne Haskins can show you something. And guess what? He hasn't, which is probably something you expected to see because you don't really have faith in him, which is warranted. So now, honestly, you have the go-ahead. Taylor Heineke showed you something in this game. Dwayne Haskins didn't. Start Taylor Heineke week 17 and let's see. Washington could still win this division and make the playoffs. We'll see what happens in week 17. I don't know if they control their destiny at this point. Well, the Giants lost, so maybe they still do. We'll see. Week 17, all four NFC East teams are still alive in that specific division. So who knows who's going to win it? Week 17 is coming down to the wire for the NFC East. But Washington, week 17, start Taylor Heineke. Hopefully, he can continue to build on what he showed us towards the end of this game. And hopefully Washington can win that game and maybe they make the playoffs and win the division. I don't know. But this guy, Haskins, he's done. He's done. His time in Washington needs to end. Maybe he'll go fix his game somewhere else. Maybe a change in scenery will help him out. I don't know. Sometimes there's just quarterbacks that come to franchises and they just don't work out with this team. They go somewhere else and they end up finding success. Maybe that's what's going to happen with Dwayne Haskins. But in Washington, nah, you can't do it anymore. The fan base is tired of him. The team doesn't know what to do with him. And there's nothing there that says franchise quarterback. It's time to let it go. Time to move on from this young man. I don't know what we're going to do moving forward, but you got to get rid of him. With that being said, that's all I got, man. This is sad. I'm out of here, man. Peace.